Yeah, I have to wait a little bit to make sure the little red sign comes up that says live before I suddenly burst into a hello, everyone. So if it feels like there's a delay, that's why we have to make sure we know it's gone live. So we are live. It is midday on a Thursday, so it's Green Umbrella's live lunch, live on our YouTube channel, on the Green Umbrella Facebook page. And are we on Christina's LinkedIn today?
We are, and hopefully she will join us shortly. But if she doesn't, then
so we can run riot again on her LinkedIn feed. So Christina is in London today at what was it called?
Something Expert Empires.
Expert Empires. So she's with the crew there today, and is hoping to join us. But it does depend how her day is panning out. So we may see her. We'll if not, we're fine. You know, we've got it covered, haven't we, gang?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, how is everyone? It's kind of turned a little bit not spring-like anymore. We were just commenting beforehand how like we need jumpers again.
It was snowing here this morning.
Was it?
Yeah, I woke up to snow on the grass.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gone blue here, which is nice. So hopefully getting that sort of spring-like weather back in towards the end of the week.
Fingers crossed. 2 weeks till Easter.
Scary that though, isn't it? It feels like we only just had Christmas.
No. 2 weeks, and some schools have broken up today. So this, you know, I'm not just kind of saying this to make small talk as well. It is quite relevant, I think, if you're planning, you know, your social media posts, planning your email marketing campaigns. So I think for a lot of people, school holidays are starting next Friday. But some schools, I know Hertfordshire, for example, have started this Friday. So as always, that kind of affects your open rates and things like that. So it's just to be a little bit mindful of. But yeah, are you aware of in Northamptonshire? Is it school holes yet, or is that next week?
We were having this conversation in the office the other day, weren't we?
Yeah, I think some break up this Friday.
Yeah.
I know one of mine does. One broke up yesterday. So
yeah, see, it feels really early to me. So,
definitely.
But there we go. So how is everyone? Have we been busy? Well, I was going to say, have we been busy this week? That's a stupid question. But what news? I must admit, I've been a bit heads down this week. So also the only news that you can possibly see is the old slapgate at the Oscars. So if you're trying to dig through and find any other news that you want to share on social media, it's been quite hard to avoid that. But there is some marketing news going on in the world, I believe. Jane, you said you had some updates that you'd clocked to share.
I do, yeah. I've got a few. So LinkedIn, they've just launched some new tools for creators. So you'll only see this if you've actually switched your personal profile to a creator profile. Mm-hmm. But they've improved the analytics. So before you didn't really get much in the way of analytics on a personal profile. Then they did a little bit on this creator profile. And now they've improved on all of that. So you can see sort of reach and engagement and all the sorts of things that you expect to see on company pages and things. And they've also improved the profile video. So I can't remember for definite. They might have got rid of the profile video off a normal profile, but you can still have it as a creator. So now what's going to happen with that is that you will get like a little ring around your profile picture that will tell people that you've got a video there that's active. They've also done a newsletter showcase thing. And there's a little bell now where if you want to subscribe to someone's newsletter, you can click that little bell and you'll subscribe and then you'll get a notification every time that creator does something. And then also they have... Sorry, I'm trying to read my notes and I can't find it. The profile video thing offers you some suggestions on what to actually put in your profile video as well, which I'm not sure if it did that before, but yeah, it guides you through the process now and tells you what might work and what won't. So I thought that was quite an interesting one. I don't know many people who switched their profile to a creator profile, though. I did mine for a little while and then I switched it back. But I didn't really notice a difference, but it was a few months ago. So
yeah, I was going to ask, do we think... because it feels like LinkedIn is pushing people towards that, and I say that because I manage a few people's LinkedIn profiles as part of my GU work, so company pages and personal profiles, obviously my own as well, and each one it's given me the option to say, do you want to switch to creator? And And I'm still struggling to work out if it's worth doing or not. But if it feels to me like LinkedIn are pushing it, but that's based on, managing about 4 people's profiles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I certainly get asked regularly if I want to switch mine again. But I mean, I think I might do it now because now they've brought these new things out. I think it's worth trying them actually and seeing, because you can always switch back. So, it's worth a go just to see if there is a benefit for you. And if not, then yeah, you don't need to carry on.
I've actually never even noticed. So the next time I go on LinkedIn, it's just going to be like switch to Creator Studio, and I'm like, oh, it's right in front of me, and I've not even seen.
I don't think I've had the option. I don't think.
I think it. Sometimes it screams out at you, "Do you want to do this?" But I think it's there all the time. But I think you have to scroll down a little bit, and it might only be a tiny button all the time. But sometimes you get a pop-up that asks you if you want to do it. So have a look.
Yeah. So it's probably worth, for me, it's been on when I've been working on LinkedIn profiles on desktop. I have no idea whether it gives you that option in the app.
Yeah, I don't know, actually. I only do desktop as well. So
yeah, I would imagine that it's desktop mostly just because it can be more difficult for them to do the pop-ups and the options. But yeah, so I was going to ask Nicole as well, because obviously you're in and out of LinkedIn too. I don't see that many people who have videos, on their profile. So yeah, and you think with the people we work with and in our industry, so we're probably connected to a lot of marketers. So it doesn't really feel like that's something that's been wholly embraced yet, unless, well, what do you think?
No, you're right. I think I've seen it on 2 people's profile pictures, and as in like almost a story that you go on someone's profile picture, and Christine is actually one of them. When I was doing my research, I clicked on her sort of profile picture and it came up with this story, and I was like, I didn't even realize they did that, and that was the first time I actually ever saw it. And then there's somebody else, I was on one of my clients' page and they had it as well. So it is interesting how it hasn't taken off, but maybe it's just not as obvious, like, because I didn't go on the profile picture expecting that to pop up. So maybe it needs to be more, I don't know, in sight for you to see. Almost like how they're
going to put the ring around it.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
yeah, you'll see them a bit more now.
Yeah, and they could display them maybe at the top, like almost how they do with Facebook, and so it is more obvious to the eye that people have put stuff on their profiles.
Yeah,
I know. Suggestion for LinkedIn. Who knows?
If anyone else is using videos, do put a note in the comments. I'd be curious to know if anyone else has embraced it yet. But I wonder if people are, almost kind of overthinking it because they feel like, oh, it's on my profile. It's not just doing a post on LinkedIn or a post on Instagram or a story which disappears after 24 hours. It's kind of there, almost like a, really short resume or CV of resume. Suddenly gone all American. A resume. But yeah, so it's a really short snippet of it. It feels like that's your elevator pitch or your brochure. So I wonder if people are kind of going, I can't just do this off the cuff. I have to, really think about it, really script it and make sure it's polished. So possibly why it hasn't been kind of, embraced.
It would be a good idea because I feel like it makes that sort of personal connection. As soon as you sort of go on it, you'll get to know kind of who that character is straight off that. But yeah,
perhaps we should all do one.
Yeah, try and encourage others.
Homework next week, folks. You heard it here first. James,
Nicole can direct those videos like she's been doing in the office.
Yeah, we're currently making a team reel, but we're using the facilities of the office, and we're trying to get everyone sort of go in and out of the lift, sort of saying, hi, we're actually not speaking, we're just sort of waving, and I'm going to put some text over it. But hopefully, it turns out well. And it's a bit creative, it's a bit of fun. So everyone look out, keep those eyes peeled.
Well, if it's going to be anywhere near as good as Pie Week, we did for that. Watch out, people.
We're actually still getting quite a bit of interaction on that. I was saying to Mark and Jane yesterday, we're almost on 5,000 views.
Wow, crazy, isn't it? It's exactly what we said. And whenever Christina presents or any of us talk about it, it's beans on toast content. So the kind of banal stuff that you put, which is everyday things for everybody else, that's the stuff that gets the engagement.
We can change the terminology now, though, can't we? From beans on toast to game pie content.
Well, you know, we've got to elevate ourselves a little bit, haven't we?
Good standards, Jane. Exactly. Exactly. Cool. Okay, so Mark, what is going on in your world this week?
Yeah, it's I'm a bit like you guys. Well, everyone really. I've just been sort of beavering away on different jobs and things really. So a lot of sort of print stuff this week for a change, some branding stuff. Obviously normal sort of website work and things like that. So yeah, lots of different things going on. But I've been, even for the last few weeks, obviously I haven't been on here, and I've been sort of almost locked away in my own little world, sort of doing stuff really. So yeah, all good, but yeah, very, very busy and just cracking through with stuff.
Cool. I have to say, avid viewers of Live Lunch for Green Umbrella, I went to see Mark and his band Wordsworth on the weekend, and they were awesome. So if you are ever in the vicinity of Northampton, and give them a follow on Facebook, but just some very cool rocky cover. Would you rock? Is that the right term?
Yeah, we'll go with rock. Yeah,
it was very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Loud.
Still disappointed you didn't crowd surf.
Well, I wasn't sure if it was the right vibe, but I was getting into it. Like I said, my ears were ringing the next day and my feet hurt a bit, which I think is always a good sign of a good night out. So, but yeah, I thought it was fab. So check them out, folks. Wordsworth.
Yeah, thank you. Good plug.
Marketing news, though, you've said, because you've been so heads down, there's some bits that you've sort of caught your eye, but you haven't had a chance to really read up on. But yeah, is there anything that you've seen that you think maybe we can fill in the gaps on?
I've just been reading a lot, to be honest. So it's a lot of technical stuff, behind the scenes type stuff. I'm trying to sort of, for me personally, I'm just trying to get a bit more into some of the SEO side of things, and things like that. So it's not necessarily something my knowledge is there yet, but it's a lot of sort of learning for me and sort of understanding that more for ourselves at the moment, as much as anything, rather than even, looking obviously to the future for clients as well. But yeah, just sort of a lot of learning, a lot of reading, and things like that. And then put a few things into practice on our website, which is something I've been doing over the last few weeks as well, playing with different sort of new tools and things. So yeah.
And they're tools in the back end, so nothing that potentially hawk-eyed visitors would know or see, is it?
No, it's more about looking at, like, obviously analysing some of our content and things like that. So thinking about how we're structuring some of the new content that goes on the site, sort of re-optimising existing content, looking where we're ranking on certain things, all these kind of things, just sort of getting a better knowledge of that side of stuff, rather than just actually sort of building and the sites and making them look pretty. Just having a look in the deep dark back end of things.
The kind of side of things that we all go, oh no, that's far too complicated.
Yeah, it's not designy. That's for sure, but it's quite interesting. It has been interesting just playing with some things on our site and just seeing how the rankings react, sort of, almost instantly within a day. You can see where, those little gains have been made by tweaking something, seeing what traffic's going through, seeing if we're getting more hits on that particular page, where we are in the Google ranking on a certain search term and things. So yeah, it's been sort of interesting getting down to the nitty gritty on that bit.
It's all about the gains.
Small gains.
All the gains, that's it. Marginal gains, always good.
Yeah, indeed.
Ooh.
So yeah, that's me.
That's you.
Yeah.
Well, one thing, because I wasn't on Live Lunch, apologies, last week, and I haven't even had a chance to watch it because it's been a bit of a crackers week or so. And so I think you might have touched on this last week, but the change in Instagram. So you now, at the top of Instagram, can choose whether you want to filter it by who you're following in kind of chronological order. It's not termed as that.
I think mine says favourites or something.
Favourites,
followers and favourites.
Yeah, there you go. I don't even need to look. Jane knows off the top of her head. But I have to say, it's kind of that change has bugged me, because normally you could just click on the word Instagram and it would take you straight to the top of the page without having to scroll back up.
Oh, good point.
I click on it, I have to kind of tap and go, oh, do I want favourites or following? So So that's a very small first world problem type bugbear. But yeah, I've noticed that come in. Have you guys noticed that changes? Because I think last week when you did talk about it, you mentioned that it was coming, but no one had it yet.
Yeah, I think I got it on Saturday in the end. It suddenly appeared. But yeah, it was supposed to have rolled out in the middle of last week. But
maybe my phone just hasn't had an update, but I have not even noticed that again. And I go on Instagram every day, but
I was going to say, Nicole, you're a bit of an Insta queen, aren't you?
Yeah, and it's like, how have I not even noticed this?
Maybe it hasn't rolled out to you yet, though.
I haven't got it.
Okay,
so
it's maybe
me and Mark are like behind on the LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I'll notice it now though, again.
Christina won't have it probably. She gets so frustrated because she's often in the kind of the second or third wave of these things when they come out, and she wants to be the first to see it. So
she'll get it in about 2026 or something.
Yeah.
Instagram and LinkedIn like you, Jane and Amanda, don't they?
You're just on there too
You're
much.
top of the list for updates. Me and Mark are a bit behind.
Yeah.
Cool. So what else? What other news have we got going on in the marketing world and social media world this week?
I have a YouTube one. This is actually something that I feel we've spoke about a lot, but for other platforms. So we've mentioned that Twitter's going to update this. I remember that must have been a month ago now, and LinkedIn. But YouTube are jumping on the bandwagon now of having a podcast sort of tab in the app and on desktop, where you can go and listen to podcasts, having a podcast experience through YouTube. So they're getting involved. Obviously, podcasts are very up and coming, and very popular in the world at the moment. So I can see why they're doing it. But my question is how would they display this? Because obviously YouTube is video content, like you go on there to watch. So what are they going to do in terms of the actual visual? I don't know.
Is it going to be podcasts that have already got a video sort of to it? Because obviously I watch a lot of podcasts on YouTube, but obviously they're not termed as podcasts, but then obviously you can download the podcast as well. So maybe they'll start with those kind of sort of podcasts.
And what do they normally have? Do they normally have a video or a clip with it then?
So it's a full video. So imagine if we launched this as a podcast, which we have done before, you'd be watching this, but it would also
not
be
really
the
a podcast then.
No.
Yeah.
Well, no,
That's a video.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. So some of them, you can. I'm obviously going back to our normal rugby stuff. Then a lot of the rugby podcasts are available on, Apple or Spotify or whatever. But then they also have a video version on YouTube already. So from a YouTube point of view, unless they're sort of thinking about people using the mobile app while they're out and about instead of using Spotify, Apple, whatever. Maybe they're trying to get into that market.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So perhaps it won't have a visual.
They're really jumping on everything, because last week we said that one of the headlines was that YouTube are also jumping on streaming TV on there, but for free, including ads. So it's almost like they're just trying to compete with their marketers at the moment. But so they cover everything almost, because they even do stories, don't they, as well? They do, what are they called? I can't remember. Stories on YouTube.
I can't remember either.
Are they shorts? Have I got that wrong?
Oh, it might be short. Oh,
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, shorts. But they just cover everything these days, YouTube. So it'd be interesting.
Yeah, you always think if you're trying to be all things to all people, that's kind of where it falls down. I don't know. I know they need to be thinking broadly, but sometimes you can kind of, I don't want to say stay in your lane, because that's no one will grow if you just always did the same thing. But how are they going to? They're a visual channel, but I can see how it would work for some of the podcasts that are more interviewy. So with the rugby one, Mark, are you thinking something like The Good, the Bad, and the Rugby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I only ever watched that. I'd never listened to it.
Okay.
So I'd only watch it on YouTube. I'm not subscribed on iTunes.
Okay. So that's interesting, because podcasts, I just go through the podcast app on my phone.
Yeah.
I've never thought to even go to YouTube to see if there's a video version of it, but but I tend to, mine's listen only because I'll listen while I'm driving or walking the dog. But I imagine something like the Stephen Bartlett's one, the Diary of a CEO. So that he often interviews people there, so that could be one that's quite visual as well. I don't know if it's on YouTube. Again, I know Christina went to see the live version of that, and came away, and she was pretty wowed by it and fired up as well. So I imagine that is quite a visual one, so could translate over there.
I think YouTube will just always be known. I don't think YouTube will ever go, you know, it won't disappear. As you said, like as you said, stay in the lane, but they will always be known for video content. Like that's going to be the go-to. Like I don't know anyone that doesn't use YouTube like regularly. So I
never look on YouTube other than to put our live lunch on it. That's kind of it.
That's quite an interesting straw poll. What do we use YouTube for? So like you guys, so Jane, do you literally just only go on there to upload live lunch?
Pretty much. Well, it goes on there anyway. It's just to edit it afterwards. But very, very occasionally, if I'm looking for something online and there happens to only be a video about it and it's on YouTube, then I will watch a YouTube video. But I would never go to YouTube to look for videos. Music videos occasionally, just to might look at those.
Yeah.
Nicole, what would you use YouTube for? Do you or don't you? Or
I use YouTube a lot. I watch like lots of, I guess, film trailers on there. That's something I use it for. Music videos, that's another one. Concerts even. I actually just randomly stream concerts on there. Not that I actually even watch it, just in the background sometimes. And then this is I watch it for little tips and tricks. Like we've just changed Wi-Fi's. So I'm having to connect everything at the moment. So I needed to work out how to link these two TP links. Very boring. But yeah, I had to watch like a 30-second video because I just couldn't work out how to do it myself. So I feel like YouTube's really good for that. Like it always has something on there that can just help you get one step closer to achieving your goal.
How-to videos. That's a lot of, I mean, I don't need to use it all the time, but yeah, I will often go on there and I kind of, how do I do this on Canva or LinkedIn or something that I haven't done for a while maybe, and I just need to know, or you know, boring stuff like how can I merge cells in Excel?
Yeah.
Just if you suddenly need a quick reminder, and you think there's bound to be a video for that.
Yeah, and then you watch it and you're like, that's how you do it. Like you just remember, it all comes back.
Mark, I can imagine you use it for music stuff as well.
Yeah, I mean, a bit like everyone else, yeah, a lot of how-tos, but that could be music related as well. So if we're learning a new song, can't work something out, there's usually something on there. A lot of gear reviews, so looking at, you know, music gear, so whether that be effects or guitars and things, looking at that kind of thing. Obviously work stuff in terms of, again, how-tos, trying to work something out. And yeah, a lot of sports stuff, podcasts. So yeah, a bit of everything really. I probably use it every day, probably somewhere along the line.
So that's just quite a spread of us then. So Mark's like, I use it every day. Jane's maximum once a week by the sound of it.
Probably once a month.
Yeah. Interesting. Maybe he needs to do a live lunch talking about video marketing more and tips on how you would embrace that and why it's useful. I'll leave that one.
What do you use it for, Amanda?
How-tos. Sometimes nostalgia, you know, so if I'm sitting here thinking, I really like that song, or I'll look at an old music video, procrastinating generally.
It is that kind of app.
Yeah. And then before you know it, you're kind of like, oh, that's half an hour of my life I won't get back when I could have actually gone to sleep or something. So yeah. Cool. Anything else?
So just while we're talking about YouTube, there was one other thing I'd seen about it. Similar to the LinkedIn actually. So they're doing a profile ring thing on your profile. Actually, interestingly, need to go on ours now actually and have a look, because apparently if you go live, it should put a ring around your avatar with a little live button underneath, so that if anyone is actually searching your profile at the time that you're live, they can jump on and watch you. But I'm not sure if it's rolled out yet. So yeah, it may be on ours right now, or it may not.
Would they get a push notification potentially if they're
know.
following you and you're live?
I'm not sure, actually. I mean, that might have been something that was there already, perhaps. Yeah, again, I don't use YouTube very often, so yeah, I don't know. But
probably like a lot of people, I turn most of my push notifications off because you don't want your phone pinging all the live long day.
Well, yeah, that's true. So yeah, the profile ring will appear if you've put a new story on there as well, or short, or whatever we decided they were called. But yeah, so yeah, just a ring if you've put something on your story, and a ring with the word live if you're live. So
they're making some changes then.
Yeah,
I think they're trying to get more social, actually, because before I guess you went there, you watched something, you were kind of by yourself, but yeah, I guess with this it's trying to make you interact a little bit more, perhaps maybe encourage you to leave comments, things like that, and make it a more social channel, perhaps.
Okay. So
Chris Lambert's just said there's no ring there at the moment on ours, so obviously hasn't rolled out.
Thank you, Chris, for doing a little
bit
again
next week.
and having a little look for us live in the moment. Yeah, so really, and a lot of people don't think of YouTube as a social channel. So when, for example, when Christina and I are out doing our presentations, we'll often do a kind of, a bar graph. These are the most popular social channels. We might ask people to guess, but they don't often think of YouTube as a social channel, or things like WhatsApp or Messenger as a social channel. But because they can be used for marketing, because they can be used with ads in and comments and interacting, that's what they're classed as. So yeah, it sounds like, and YouTube, the amount of video we consume, I haven't got my data Davies to hand, but in I've written it in one of them how much video we consume every day, and it's a phenomenal amount. So it sounds like they're trying to leverage that and get even more of the market.
Probably right.
Probably trying to push back against things like TikTok, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like we said, if they've got, was there a stat the other week where has TikTok got more active users now or something? I can't remember now. We were on about something, but obviously if that is impacting their usage, which is going to impact their revenues from advertising, then they probably feel they've got to do something different. Perhaps hence the podcasts and stuff.
TikTok again is becoming quite a go-to for how-tos as well.
Yeah.
So I did notice someone kind of doing because you can do a sort of screen record and put yourself in front of it. So it's almost like you're presenting the weather. You've almost got like a green screen behind you, and you can go, you click this button and scroll down here and then click that button. So you can sort of point at it. So I saw someone do that with the Instagram feed to point out the favorites versus following, and talking about how it's not then based on an algorithm, it's based on who you follow. But that was in TikTok. So that's a prime example of a how-to, but done in a more modern way, arguably.
Yeah. And probably quicker, because it is just a filter, isn't it? Effectively, like you just click one button and then you've got whatever you want behind you. Whereas I'm guessing for YouTube, more editing has to go into it if you wanted to do something like that. I mean, but
arguably that's because you're the queen of TikToks and Reels and stuff, Nicole, as well.
Well, look out for that Meet the Team reel. It's going to be a good one.
That's it, creating a bit of excitement about it. That's what we like.
Hope it lives up to the expectations.
Yeah.
We need a trailer.
It's just a group of people going in and out of a lift.
You get to see everybody, the people that don't come on live lunch, or the people that have yet to make their debut, or kind of guests every now and then, like the elusive Dean. Sometimes he's here, sometimes he's not.
You'll have to get one of him on Monday.
Coming
out of the lift, going in or out.
He's Mr. Chill, isn't he, Dean?
Yeah. Well, we need a nice big smile from everyone coming out the lifts.
So Nicole's turning. She'll be up for the best director at next year's Oscars. Just make sure no one storms the stage. Don't make any.
I won't.
That'd be appropriate jokes.
They are just going to be long memes, really, aren't they?
I mean, I won't get into who's right and who's wrong with it, because again, you can go on Twitter and everyone's giving their hot take on what happened. But it is where social media comes into its own, where people turn it's, you know, literally, I think probably within 5 minutes there was memes of it, there was voiceover videos, it was edited with the theme of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in it. So creativity that goes around something like that, you just, like I say, yeah, they are. You've got to applaud the creativity. Like I said, let's park the whether it was right or wrong, who did what. Yeah. But the creativity around it is just amazing, really.
Yeah,
really speed.
Yeah. And that's the thing, they don't miss a trick. Like, they have covered everything. Like, I even saw one yesterday of, you know how Will Smith plays the fish and shark tale, and then Chris Rock plays the zebra in Madagascar. There was just one of that. Like, they've made one where, you know, the shark goes and slaps the zebra. It's just I'm gonna have to share it now, but but I just thought, who's even thought of that? Like, who has the time to edit those two characters on the stage and the fish going to slap the zebra? But it's brilliant. It is, as you said, no opinions, but it's a laugh.
Well, I'm sure we've all got opinions, but I think we can end up going down a complete rabbit hole if we talk about them. But, as Chris has just added, who's watching on Facebook, it's just designers slacking off to make the memes rather than doing real work.
Right.
Might do a few this afternoon.
Yeah, where's ours, Mark?
Game pie's on its way.
I actually would quite like to see that. I know you've got lots to do. Mark, that'd be very fun. It's making me laugh.
No, we had it was going to be more of a video thing. There was going to be special music to it and stuff.
Okay, too much. Too involved.
Yeah.
It should be the intro for live lunch. That's what you should have for your lunch game party. Sorry, Jay.
I'll just never do a video again.
Right, we've got enough material just from that one.
Thanks.
Any more news in the world of marketing this week? Is there anything launched? I mean, as we said, it is quite hard sometimes to pick through the other news that's going on. But yeah, I've been heads down kind of writing blogs and doing handovers and stuff. So
it's your last day.
It's my last day, folks. It's my last live lunch and my last official day with Green Umbrella. So I'm a bit sad.
Yeah.
I'm going to be missing
the same without you.
I have to say, I got a lovely little "Sorry You're Going" card in the post this morning. So thank you, gang. But can I just share that Christina obviously wasn't around. So they asked, what did you want Christina to write? Someone said, is there anything specific you want me to write in Amanda's card? And she said, love you, Bab. So they've cut it out and put it in there, which really made me laugh. So thank you all again for your lovely comments. So yeah, I'm still going to tune in. I'll comment every now and then when I can.
You can be a guest.
Yeah, I could be a guest.
Guest anytime you like.
Yeah, maybe not your last
every week at 12 o'clock.
Especially when Christina's not here.
A weekly guest.
Yeah.
Chris said, where's the cake? Sorry. I had a cake for the 100th episode. I had a little cake with a candle in, didn't I? I haven't got one today. Not very organised. It's because I am frantically trying to get everything done to package it all up nicely so I can go, here you are, here is the handover. I don't want my name to be Mud come Monday and you're going, oh, she didn't tell us about that. So,
fine, we have your phone number.
That's true, yes. Yeah. So, but it has been an absolute joy working with Green Umbrella, and I'm sure we always talk about, and Christina doesn't like the word authenticity or authentic because she said it's a bit overused now. But there is a real, what you see is what you get, I think, with GU. So if people watch Live Lunch and if they meet any of us, whether it's you guys on screen or any of the team behind the scenes, that there's no pretense. This is kind of who we are. We know what we're talking about, but we're actually humans to deal with as well. And we kind of keeping it real.
That's a really nice message.
Yeah,
definitely.
Indeed.
So there you go. So if there's no more for any more, I think maybe we can wrap up and leave everyone to get on with their days.
You're going to put your tiara on for your final wave, though.
Oh, for my final wave, where is it?
Oh yeah, we never mentioned about a tiara in the 100th episode.
I know.
So here
No.
we go. It's making another appearance.
We will get that best of edited.
Yeah.
I need to have a sausage sandwich as well, as we said.
Yeah.
It's usually got food appearing as well. So I can't believe Christina's not here for the last one.
It might be straight to
Yeah.
DVD, but yeah.
Yes, I will miss you guys hugely. I'll miss all the viewers and the comments and stalking from people watching. But live lunch isn't going anywhere, so people can come back at midday next week and tune in and see your smiley faces and all the news that's happening on social media. So yeah, Thursday, 12 o'clock next week, we'll all be here. Well, you'll all be here.
You'll be
But there you go.
watching.
So do we give our usual wave and smile?
Do our last wave.
And we will see you all next week. Take care, everyone. See you next Thursday.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.